Hey guys, it's your boy Phil Shocker here, the nicest head joke here, bringing you another video regarding to VBL Transactions. I had recently just made 3 trades and 3 transactions. Trades in this league are unlimited, but you're only given three transactions, so I don't think it's really fair. I think 4 is a solid fair number, but you gotta go with the rules of the league. But if you guys are hyped for this transactions video, leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. Join the Phil Shocker crew today because you're for living with the king of the crew. But yeah, basically, I had decided that the team needed some changing, and I think this team changed slightly better, but it's going to be determined to wait to see. So, as you can see, the team is very much different. I have 6 mons on team roster here, so we're going to go over and discuss that. So first off, I need to make a shout out to Revan, who is the one that came to me and was like, "Hey man, I really need this mon, but I gotta also do these trades for you as well. So let's strike a deal. Let's try to get these mons on your squad or my squad, and see where it goes from there." Because the mons he offered me for trade, I looked at my free agency, and I had to look at what I needed, and I've realized that I needed to get rid of so many typings I had on my team that was just causing me problems. So overall, I think the team is slightly different. It's definitely more unique. It's definitely more a little out there, but it's going to be interesting. So let's go and break down. So first things first, we sadly had to lose Darmanitan. I should have probably always had this up, but yeah, no, you go with your head. So we lost Darmanitan, Hatterene, Audino, and then I had dropped Crobat, Ferroform, and Skunk Tank. So let's go over the mons that I traded away. So I traded Audino away. I honestly did not care about Audino. I just drafted it because it was a good normal type. Hatterene, I'm a little upset that I traded away. It was definitely something I would have liked to have, but it was not necessarily something I needed. And overall, it might be something I'm gonna probably regret, but who knows? But I just felt like I did. Excuse me. I didn't have the right trick room setup mons. I really didn't get mons to get Hatterene to come in. And I think Hatterene at times just applies a lot of passability and all that stuff. So I don't know, but I was really sad to let it go. This one I am hurt to let go. I was very torn on not sending Dharma away. Now there was only one reason I sent Dharma away. One, I need to start using mons that I can't that are different. I also need to stop using mons repetitively. Even though Dharma has not been one of those mons I've used repetitively, I would probably say. But it's definitely something I've used quite a bit lately, and I probably should try to diversify a little bit with the mons I want. So that's the only reason I gave up Darm. Otherwise, I was never getting rid of Darm. Never, ever, ever getting rid of him because he's just so goddamn good. And he proves it in the VBL Week 3 match, which you guys will see after the see see before this video goes up or after, depending on what it is. So we had those three. Now for the mons I dropped. I unfortunately did drop Crobat, even though Crobat was literally in 1 week. The reason I dropped Crobat was the fact I found a bit of a better flying type. There was also a better dark type down there as well. So I felt like there was a really good value there to go pick up a good dark type, but also probably a better flyer. Not saying that Crobat's a terrible flyer. It's just that Crobat's more likely kind of utility kind of mon and just kind of spam what dimensional type was there. Excuse me. But it wasn't, exactly the worst thing to have. But I will want to try Crobat in the future because I really think Crobat is really dope. This was another one. It hurt me to drop. This is the second time I haven't done this where I've drafted it but then dropped it. I dropped Ferroform. I didn't want to drop Ferroform, but I felt like Ferroform, even though as much as no hidden power is so good in a generation like this, I felt like just it was just way too passive for me to really use. I think Ferroform put in a lot of good work though for its first for the 3 weeks we had it, even though it was only came to 2 to 3 weeks. I felt like I put in some decently good work on certain plays and stuff like that. I will 100% use this thing. I really do, because I really do love Ferrothorn. I think Ferrothorn is so underrated, and I really, really think this is a really good mon. And last but not least, we did talk about Skunk Tank. Skunk Tank came to 2 games. Should have came to the week 3 game. If it came to the week 3 game, it could have probably made a big difference right there. But nonetheless, I think definitely Skunk Tank put in so much good work. For the times we had it, I actually did enjoy using it actually. So I definitely would like to try to draft this thing again in the future. It's like Drapion, but it's like a lot less utility heavy. It's more of like opposite Drapion. Excuse me, as you guys can see, it's 9:51 p.m., so I'm getting very tired right now. I'm probably gonna have something to drink and then go to sleep after this recording. So bear with me if I'm yawning. But basically, Skunk Tank kind of plays the opposite Drapion, where it's going to be more of a defensive mon rather than an offensive mon. Even though it can play offense relatively well as well, but overall, I think it was a mon that was really good to use as defense. So, what did we use to replace the team? So, for the trade, I traded away my Hatterene for Blissey. Now, Blissey's name is going to be Everybody Hates Me. And I think we all know the reason why that. Kind of the main reason I kept Blissey. Blissey does give me a bit of a special attacker, which I really needed for my team. Gives me a good special wall. It also gives me a very annoying physical wall. It's gonna probably most likely be like a physical set, or physical defensive set every week. This thing is just a nightmare for people to buy. It's got really good, decently good movement coverage. It does access to Healing Wish. It's another Wish abuser as well. It's a screen setter as well. It's a stealth rocker, which is really, really good as well. It's got teleport as well for phasing and for pivoting. It's a really good, reliable one. I've actually never tried Blissey before, so this is my first time trying it. So it's gonna be interesting. I think it's definitely going to be very interesting, nonetheless. So it's gonna be a unique experience. Excuse me. It's gonna be very unique. I'm hoping to maybe find something with it. I don't know. But when it came to Darmanitan, I traded it out for Viper, and this is another reason why I had to drop my 2 poison types. I would have had 3 poison types on this team. 2 of them could have made sense to work, but looking at what was in free agency, there was some decent stuff I wanted, so I had to drop both. And I decided to keep the poison typing in Salazzle, mostly for the fact that Salazzle offered a little bit more of, unique versatility. It gave me a main special wall breaker I really need. It also gave me a mon that really loves the abuse of webs, which is really good. This is a Pokemon that could run heavy duty boots with nasty plot and be able to just clean house under webs, which is relatively great as well. I think overall Salazzle is just really, really good. The toxic side, the fact that it's not very it's toxic, it's gonna poison everything and anything I really want, which is so good. Is really amazing. So toxic sets can actually work with this thing. And overall, I think this was just a really good fair trade. And I've been trying to get to Salazzle, so hopefully this is the season I can use Salazzle, especially when there's only 6 weeks left of the season. What trading up? I don't know. We got my boy Jerry. We got Jerry. If you guys don't remember who Jerry is our mouse who we use in. Well, if you guys never seen, I play playthrough games, and when I get a actual Sand Slash, I actually love using it because this thing, you guys sleep on the bulk that is Jerry here. This thing takes hits for days. But from the okay, also ignore my cat. I don't know why he is crying over there. I'll try to figure that out. Luigi, stop it, buddy. Come on. All right, looks like that worked. Sorry, guys, but I thought like Jerry puts unique little twist in the in there. He goes again. Gave me a rapid spinner to replace the defogger that we lost, so there was that. But I overall think this was something that was also good. I also picked up a third stealth rocker now for this team, which was pretty cool. So now definitely going to be pressuring people to bring hazard removal even more against our team, which is relatively great. So I don't have to worry about running hazard removal all the time. So that's the three trades we made. Now let's go into the 3 transactions I made. First transaction was again dropping Ferrofarm. I picked up Jirachi. Now I went with Make a Wish or Jirachi, which is the perfect nickname for Jirachi. I don't want anyone to add me. Also, I hate 812. He stole my nickname for this thing. I don't appreciate it. Be creative and use your own nicknames. But Jirachi is something else. Jirachi is one of those Pokemon From attack to speed, you can just customize. HP, you can make this thing incredibly bulky. This thing can be incredibly offensive on physical, special. Serene Grace, like, does everyone else love their 20% chance to freeze? Does anyone love their 50? No, I think it's double, yeah. 60% chance to flinch? I sure do. And the 20% chance to get ancient power boost? I overall think Jirachi can be a really, really cool Wait, does this thing just show me Draco Meteor? Since when does this thing get Draco Meteor? What the heck? Anyways, Jirachi is just something that's very unique, very special. It really forces you to prep for your special Rachi, physical Rachi, mixed Rachi, support Rachi, because it does get access to things like Thunder Wave, it's really good as well. It's now a fourth Stealth Rocker we have on the team, which is very, very important to know right now. So now my team is very stacked on hazards. This gave me a mon that can play physical, special. Like I said, this thing is just super reliably good. And I think Jirachi is going to be something good. I've only used Jirachi one time, and I think I used it for a full league at least once, but I didn't touch it ever again. It's one of those ones I've been wanting to go back to try because I liked watching people play with it. And then it's one of those things because that's why I used Weavile the one time. I loved Weavile. I always wanted to use Weavile now when I have a chance. When I use Garchomp, I always wanted to use Garchomp, and there's that. But for Crobat, who I dropped, I picked up Galarian Moltres. Now I know I'm using Galarian Moltres in PMC, but I need a new Dark type. I need to replace my Flying type. Yes, this does not get access to Defog, but this gave off another reason for people to be very wary of, having to force them to bring Defog, because they don't bring Defog to remove their hazards. It puts Moltres in more of a comfortable dominant position where it can run Scarf plus Pets every week. And you gotta tell me, Specs Galarian Moltres with webs sounds pretty fun to me, with Fiery Wrap, Air Slap Hurricanes, just overall just being a very annoying bird, and access to Nasty Plot as well. This thing can just be so lethal, I feel like, on this team. And overall, I think this was just a really, really good mon to pair well with the team. Yes, it would be really better with something like Roost, but again, Resto Chesto can be something we can do. And I overall just think Moltres is so good. I've actually been really enjoying in PMC, and I think tied now potentially for kill leader on our team. So that's really cool too. And the last one I dropped Skunk Tank for. I picked up Christmas, the Obama Snow, aka Obama Snow. Not Obama Snow, Obama Snow. I'm going to call it Christmas, though, because, next week's Christmas, and plus, this is always what I see, like a Christmas tree. It's like a giant Christmas board thing. So, why on earth did I draft Obama Snow? Well, to be honest, I don't even know myself. But I felt like with Sticky Webs, this thing can be a little more faster. It can run Specs, it can run Banded. It does actually give me a Aurora Veil setter, which is really good for the team as well. And it technically can also play as another mon not to have Aurora Veil. It can just pretty much run Snowboarding if it wants. It could also just run something like Soundproofs to stop hyper voices to be really good as well. So it's a decent mon to potential future fairies like with a Sylveon answer and everything like that. But other than that, I feel like Obama Snow is something I've never ever drafted before, but I've seen my good buddy King Eevee use this to some really great success so far, and I'm willing to give it a try. And plus, it really helps with Rotom in a beautiful pairing because Rotom now has 100% accurate blizzards now when he spams that button. So that's really, really good pairing right there. So I don't know. This is a very different and unique team. So looking at our final roster, which is right here, we now have a total of four Stealth Rockers. We have a Sticky Web user, we have a Toxic Spikes user, and we have a Aurora Veil. So we've got almost all the hazards plus a Veil, which is very, very good. I think overall this is now looking really decently good. Yes, we do not have a Fairy type, so potential opposing dragons are going to be a little annoying to deal with. But I have dragon, depending on the dragon, obviously, I have my own dragon that counters them really too well. I do have an ice type that can scarf and be able to knock those out as well. I've got I have two ice types, so I don't really mind that. I have really good defensive mons and Cough and uh, Araquanid and even arguably Sandslash that can be able to handle those as well. I have Jirachi, which resist the Dragon Stab as well. I think we'll be fine going against Dragon types. Going against Dark types, I think we'll be pretty fine as well. I got, again, like Araquanid, I got Moltres, And depending on the dark type, I've got things like when Blissey and stuff. So I think our biggest issue is going to probably be going against decently good fairies. I think decently good potential fairies, dragon, and rock types, because rock types actually do a lot to my team as well. But I do have a ground type. I do have two ground types. I have a steel type. I can be able to handle, but again, opposing rock types are very rare to see in draft league. I mean, rock type coverage is common, but everything else is pretty alright. But this is a new squad that we're gonna be rocking out with for the remainder of the season. I don't know how I feel about it, but I think it's gonna be worth trying a lot of new things. Because pretty much on this entire roster, everything I've tried is new, pretty much essentially. So this is gonna be a very interesting season, and if anyone else wants to be trained, I'll let you guys know in update videos. But until then, it is what it is. So that's it for this transaction video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And again, like I said, pretty much starting next week, after you see the VBO matches go up and you see the transaction video go up, next week is no battles, except the only week you'll see battle videos would be for week 5 of PMC, and that's where we'll be all cut up for PMC battles. So there's that. But till next time, guys, I'm Phil Shocker, the Nice Judge. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.